Hello students, let's read the problem. And it says, Mrs. Adams takes 650 milligrams of acetaminophen as prescribed by the doctor. The body observes the intake exponentially, 25% each hour. What are the values of A and B that models the function y equals A times B to the x power that represents the amount of acetaminophen remaining in her body? Okay, so what are they asking me to find? I don't know if you can see, but towards the end, it says something about the amount remaining. Now keep this in mind because remaining, if you think about your operations, isn't that when you subtract something, right? It's like if I said I went to the store and I have so much of the money. I know it might not sound like correctly, but remaining, right? That means that you have like a leftover, right? So think about that because we're gonna have to remember that somehow in my problem I am gonna subtract. Very good. So let me write it down over here just so that I don't forget that somehow I am going to be subtracting something, right? Now, what do I know? Well, we know that Mr. Adams takes this much of that medicine, right? 650 milligrams, right? And then it says that the body observes 25% each hour, right? So the question here is what is going to be A and B represented on my exponential function. So let's write down the exponential function here. So we have y equals A times B to the x power, right? And of course, the first thing I need to know is what is A? Well, A is my starting value. And the starting value for us is the amount of medicine that Mrs. Adams is taking, right? Which is 650. Very good. So let's write it down over here. Now, what about B? Well, B represents the amount of medicine remaining in her body, right? Now, think about what we said earlier. Remaining means something with subtraction, right? Okay, so anytime that we think about percentages, we always think about 100%. Is that right? So if I want to find how much of the medicine is remaining on her body, we're going to go ahead and subtract how much medicine is being absorbed by the body, which is 25%. And this will give me 75%. And 75% is the same thing as 0.75. Very good. Okay, so be careful with this because there's another question where you're gonna see that is kind of like adding or growing and things like that. This is what we call a decay, right? Okay, because it's gonna be getting less, less, and less. Okay, so my number here will be 0.75 to the x power, right? And remember we said that B, it's how much is the quantity changing, right? So let's go ahead and this is my A, which is how much do we start with, right? And then we have B, and this is how much it's remaining on her body after every hour, okay? So keep that one in mind. Try not to be confused. I know sometimes it's a little bit uh, difficult to understand some of the questions, but the content of the problem is very important, okay? From where it says about how much percent the body absorbs, right? And then that will give you how much actually is remaining on the body. So let's look at the answer choices and let's see which one has my 650 and a 0.75. Yes, you'll be correct if you're saying about letter B. Very good.